Well, first of all, Mr. Chukwuma, a number of people might disagree with you that we were just lucky. I mean, it took the principal, then the president, to appoint somebody who he believed was neutral. According to him, he didn't even know Professor Jega from anywhere. So do you think, first of all, that there was a little more to luck than having, you know, when we had Professor Jega there at the head of INEC? That's the first question to you. The second is, do you think we've made any improvements? When we look at the fact that now we have a Ken Namani committee, which is supposed to look at what the Waste Committee, you know, recommended, do you think we're going to make any progress in that particular area?
Well, on the Professor Jega, I agree that it's a little more than luck, because certain processes were put in place. But what I argued was, in spite of what Professor Jega and his INEC-led commissioners did, if the election had gone the other way, if it had produced PDP as the winner, we would still have had conflict. Because before that election, APC had already advanced the process of forming a parallel government. They have already laid the groundwork for rejecting the outcome of the... I mean, if you read the papers, just read the papers before the elections, you will see all that build-up. So why the nation was saved that tension and perhaps conflict was, one, APC won. Secondly, President Jonathan conceded a defeat, and it was like people heaved a sigh of relief. I was in my office around 3 p.m. on that day when we had this man from Delta State, what is in stage that, if you like, a stampede at INEC headquarters, and we were going to sing the heavens were going to fall, until Jega handled it quite remarkably, eased him out, and before the counting was completed, President Jonathan had conceded. And that was, if he had gone the other way, I mean, if in this chair local government elections, both at the federal and state house of assembly, the other party had won, would he have come to say INEC?
So we saw actions from the government at that time at different points that contributed to us having at least to douse the tension.
Precisely.
So have we seen any of those actions replicated this time around?
Well, in my view, not totally, you know, but in some places we have seen that happen. But the question, the major challenge we have now is the one of who is in charge. The acting president is doing well. To what extent did his visit to Rivers State help in dousing the tension and the outcome that we saw today? So you see, actions of government at different levels can help. But before that, when we had the President Buhari, who on several occasions couldn't go to the Niger Delta, and the tension there building up. So actions can help, but we need to see a whole systemic approach to showing that we don't want to reverse back to the achievement we have made. And then the second question of the Namane committee, and quite frankly, in my view, there is no need for that committee. All we needed was to go back to the recommendations of Justice Uwe's committee, see aspects of it that has not been implemented, and see to what extent we can implement them. And a number of them come to it. The committee recommended setting up of Electoral Offences Commission. We have not seen that come into place. In Rivers yesterday, Saturday election, we were told that 80 people were arrested. In the one in December, a number of people were arrested. Okay. But at the end of the day, the people that are going for trial were those who are seen bribing INEC officials. Those who were involved in the violence, we've not seen action on what they did.
We'll pick up from that and more when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. Could you conclude your train of thought?
Yeah, I was saying that there's really no need for the Namane committee, that all we need to do is go back to Justice Uwe's committee's report and see aspects of the recommendation that have not been implemented. I talked about political electoral offences commission to deal with all this electoral violence. It recommended about proportional representation. This whole idea of winner takes all is actually what is overheating the polity. It talks about unbundling INEC to make INEC focus on its core mandate of organizing election. The whole issue about constituency delineation, the whole issue of registering of political parties should be given to other agencies so that INEC will be focused. Those have not been implemented, and we're talking about another committee to come up with yet another recommendation that will not be implemented.
Okay, Mark, where?
Let's quickly take a look at transparency. Now, some people believe that transparency will be the key for confidence building in INEC. What more do you think that INEC can do to make its activities more transparent so that political parties can have more confidence in the process that INEC employs?
I think INEC has actually improved on that front. INEC works more with stakeholders now, whether it's civil society or political parties. But the major problem has been after the election, the collection of election results leading to announcement. I don't think you have a lot of transparency there. Yes, parties are represented by their agents, but you don't have enough of civil society groups involved in that, because the process of conveying the ballot papers through convoy makes it difficult for anybody following the movement of those materials to the final point where they are gathered and collected and counted. So for me, that is what perhaps the electronic voting system, full implementation of it, will guarantee. But also looking at elements of the Operation A4 system that we used in 1993, where once elections are completed and all the party agents have duplicates of the result, that is as authentic as the one announced from INEC office. That was how the opposition were able to come back to power in Ghana, NPP, because before the Electoral Commission actually announced the result in Ghana, the parties have already known where they won and where they did not won. And in fact, some of them have gone ahead to announce their own. So it was difficult for anybody at that point to compromise the outcome of the election. That is not here, because in Nigeria, it's only when INEC announced the result and the version that they announced that is taken as the authentic one.
We got an email from, he says, it's Baba Joe. He's speaking about this election matter. He says, the punitive measures are not adequate. Hidden surveillance must be made available at every polling station and police unit. How would that work at every polling station?
Well, you have to contend with the infrastructural problem of having power to even power the hidden cameras. We are talking about a situation where when elections get into the dark, INEC itself is using lamp. And in context where you are using lamp, CCTV is completely useless. So that will have to go hand in hand with the electrification project, making it more...
now that's a complex whole.
You know, you are going back to the whole problem facing Nigeria.
Mr. Innocent Chukwuma is the Regional Director of West Africa for Ford Foundation. Thank you for coming on this morning. And we appreciate your sending us your emails, your tweets. Do keep them coming. We'll be back tomorrow and hopefully take a lot more. Thank you for watching today, though. I'm Chamberlain Oso.
And thanks for watching. I am Gimba Umar.
And I'm Maupe Ogun. Thank you.